Mute your mic. It is not. It is expected that you know this. Thank you so much. So I wouldn't want. I'm not concerned about what the other activities you are engaged in. But all I know is that we are meeting by 5 o'clock today, and we should go straight to the business without wasting time. That time is of essence to me as well. I believe it is the same to you. So we are 14 in the class. We are going straight to what we are to do, and that has to do with social welfare and development. Social welfare and development. Before I go to that, we could only take sorry for that break in transmission. It was due to a mistake. So we started with the introduction that day. I think it was only Adeyema Fifo that could do the introduction. So let me go to Benny as I have it here. Benny, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us your background, where you are. In 1 minute, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Chinoye Ebujo Benita Chinoye. I'm from the University of Port Harcourt.
Great. Are you a postgraduate student or undergraduate student?
I'm an undergraduate student.
Department of Social Work?
Yes, sir.
Great. Benny, it's your turn. If you are there, if you are not there, Celestine, can you please unmute and speak?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Celestine Cho, a graduate of Social Work, University of Calabar.
Okay, you are a graduate already?
Yes, sir.
Great. Marcus Joy.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Legbosi Marcus Joy, a student of Uniport, Social Work 400 level.
Okay. Then the next person, Joseph Obiang.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Joseph Obiang from University of Port Harcourt in Social Work Department. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Joy Osioma. Okay, Joy is not there. Please, Margaret. Margaret or
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Margaret Aprando from University of Port Harcourt, Social Work Department.
It's all right. Thank you. Marvelous. After Marvelous, Lucky. Marvelous, it's your turn, please. Okay, good evening. Good evening. We hardly hear you, please. You can please locate to where the network is good. All right, thank you.
From University of. My name is Yakub. Social Work Department.
University of Port Harcourt, right? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Precious. Precious.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
My name is Emmanuel Chinai Precious from University of Port Harcourt, Social Work Department.
Thank you. Paul.
Yeah, good evening, sir. My name is
Good
Taji Paul Chibeze from Federal University of Allied Health Sciences, Social Work Department. Sir.
Where? Which Federal University of
Federal
where?
University of Allied Health Sciences, Enugu.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Smith. Smith. Okay, Smith. It seems Smith is not there.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm from University of Port Harcourt, Social Work
Okay.
Department.
Do you know Professor Oranta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay. Prince Will, Queen.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Prince Will Queen Brabari from University of Port Harcourt, 400 level, Department of Social Work.
Oh, you're welcome. Lucky, have I called you? Lucky.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, it's the same Lucky that we couldn't hear you very well. Please, find a suitable location and you can join us. You can then speak when you are in a suitable location. Well, this Techno Canon Camon 12 Pro, please identify your device. Identify with your device, please. Otherwise, you cannot be in this class. Put your right name, rename your device, and put your right name. I need to know those in the class, please. Techno, come on.
Of Social Work Department.
If you are using Techno, come on, can you please rename that device and replace with your name? Okay, who is speaking? Okay, I think we are done. So when others join, you can they will be doing their introduction. That is if time permits. Essentially, what we're going to look at in this course has to do with social welfare and development. And incidentally, I'm happy majority of you are students of social work in one university or the other. And since you are not new to social work, you must have had a bit of background knowledge of social work. In this regard, we want to start with introduction, and that has to do with definition of social welfare. I wouldn't know, by now you should know what social welfare is. These are terms that we are familiar with, but we hardly take note of when this happen around us. These are familiar things that occur in our environment, within our context, but which we do not pay special attention to. Of course, you know a number of ministries that will have maybe at the state level or at the national level that handle social welfare programs. We know you are aware of different intervention programs all around to better the lot of the citizen or to improve the well-being of people, perhaps at the individual level or at the community level or at the family level or even at the national level. There are programs that are targeted to ensure that every individual, every citizen of any country or any society or any community or in any family lives well. That these are programs that are referred to as social welfare programs. What's the purpose? The purpose is to ensure that we have a lifelong well-being. We live a better life. We have an improved standard of living, as well as we have access to all those amenities, facilities, opportunities that can lift us up the ladder of development. So in essence, social welfare refers to organized public or private interventions, like I explained, that are designed to address social problems and to also promote well-being and enhance quality of life, just like I've explained. You are looking at the well-being of an individual. You're looking at the well-being of a community. You are looking at the well-being of the society at large. So when programs are actually designed to uplift the standard of living of people or to promote the well-being of people, and these programs are designed out of social problems that we encounter. So today you can easily understand a number of programs that are on ground that are meant to take people out of poverty, to take people to ensure that no one is left behind in the scheme of things. That is talking about equality. There are programs that are designed to ensure that people living within the environment live well. Invariably, I'm talking about improving the social well-being of people as well as the economic development of people. When programs are designed in this direction and they are intervention, either public or private, it is public when it is provided by the government, and it is private when an individual or a civil society organization do this. So in this regard, such intervention address social problems. Example of such social welfare program is that package or that policy that actually addresses the needs of those living in the ID camp, internally displaced camps. The people in the internally displaced camps, those people living there, they require a special needs, they require special treatment, and as a result, government now design a program to ensure that they live a life that is worth living. The government will want to enhance their quality of life. Already they are displaced. They have been victims of banditry, victims of insurgents, and so on and so forth. And we also have victims of disaster victims, those that are affected either by flood, either by building collapse, and so on and so forth. These victims, the government will want to take care of them, want to address their needs. Because of that particular problem, the government now decide intervention to ensure that they come back to life. They begin to live the life they were before, or to improve on the life they were enjoying before. Meaning that their quality of life will be looked into to be improved. And when we have victims as this, the government will want to give them relief materials. That is when you see, when you hear governments coming to the aid of the victims of flooding, victims of fire disaster, and victims of any disaster of any form. So this is concerned, social welfare is concerned with helping vulnerable groups such as children, women, the elderly, persons with disabilities, the poor, special people, the widows, the orphans, the children. All these are vulnerable groups. Joy, please, Joy Osioma, can you mute your mic or you leave the class for us? You can please mute your mic, Joy Osioma. So, when a social welfare program is designed, it is concerned with helping people that actually need help. And these are the people we call the vulnerable groups. I mentioned children, women, youth, unemployed youth, the elderly, the retirees, victims of disasters, internally displaced people, like those villages, those communities that have been affected, that have been attacked by the Boko Haram, that have been attacked by bandits from across the country. So these are people that are targeted in social welfare program. However, it goes beyond relief. It is about empowerment. It is about development. It is about equity. It is about development, it's about empowerment, it's about equity. If you read very well, you must have come across Sustainable Development Goals, which deadline is 2030. That is the world agenda to bring sustainable development to the whole world. And every member countries around the world, they are all signatory to that. And every country is striving hard to ensure that they meet this goal by 2030. How we are going to meet it, well, I don't know if there's any miracle. So you can also find out whether we are making progress or we are not making progress. And that goes as 17. That is, the Sustainable Development Goals are 17. They are 17 with 169 targets. And each of these goals, or all the goals put together, the Sustainable Development Goals that is called SDGs, they are interlinked, they are interwoven, they are interdependent, meaning that you cannot achieve one goal without linking it with another goal. So if you're talking about no poverty, if you're talking about zero hunger, you're talking about quality education. There's no way you can have education, you can treat education. When you have the education, it means that your economy empowerment will be improved. It means that you can get a job, which means hunger will not be your own person. It means that in your family, there cannot be any poverty when you get a job. So you can see when a goal is addressed holistically, it will definitely affect the achievement of the other goal. So in essence, what I'm saying is that sustainable development goals, they are placed on three pedestals, on three pillars. The pillar of social, the pillar of economy, and the pillar of environment. So the social welfare is also embedded in that sustainable development goal to tell you the importance of social welfare. Coming back to Nigeria, Nigeria is a signatory taken. Coming back to Nigeria, if you go to the, if you read well, or let me just refer you to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. Go and read chapter 2. Go and read chapter 2, which talks about the fundamental principles and directive policy of government. Chapter 2 actually talks about the social welfare, that the essence, the primary duty of government is to provide social welfare, is the welfare of its citizen. The primary function or the primary duty of government is to provide is welfare of its citizen. So that is to tell you the important place social welfare is in. Development. Development is a multidimensional process that entails economic growth, social inclusion, equity, and the improvement of human well-being. You can see development is so wide that encapsulates everything, even the social welfare. Because when you're talking about development, development has many dimensions. That is why it is multidimensional. It involves a multidimensional process. You have to talk about economy. You cannot develop economically and you forget the social aspect. It means that your development is one leg. You cannot improve on social inclusion and forget about equity. So we are talking about social and economy as well as the environment where you live. That is the holistic definition of development. Any development that takes away any of these three pillars is not a development. So when you're talking about development, you have to reflect on the social aspect, you have to reflect on economic aspect, and you also reflect on the environment. Because when you are okay economically, when you are empowered economically, you have the knowledge, you have the education, but your social aspects, or if you are having social problems and these are not addressed, there's no way your economic power can be useful to you. It will not be beneficial because it is only one leg. If socially you are okay, economically you are okay, and the environment where you live is not conducive for living, so it means that your development is incomplete. So you're talking about development, you are talking about those three sectors, those three important dimensions. So that is why development is defined as a multidimensional process. So there is a link between social welfare and development, a very strong link. So when social welfare programs are designed, what do we intend to gain? What is the aim of the social welfare? The aim of the social welfare is to improve the well-being of an individual, or to enhance quality of life, or to promote the well-being, or to even ensure that there is this lifelong improvement in one's life. So which means indirectly you are talking about development. But social welfare is like a subset under development. So social welfare is both a tool and an outcome of development. Because when the social welfare is there, it means that you are seeing the outcome of development. It means that development has come to you. Let's look at it practically. Practically, you are in school, you are all students. You are all students. When you get your certificate, it is written when you graduate that having satisfied the requirements for the award of blah 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 blah, and having found you worthy in academic and moral, that is when this certificate, having found you worthy, this certificate is awarded to you. In academics and others, in moral, it cannot be one leg. If you are a professor, if you are the president and you don't have right attitude and you don't have good morals, which means your social fabric is not a good one. So what's the essence? Which means you're having acquired knowledge, you having reached that status, you having attained that level in life as an elite, it's not complete. It means it's not complete. So, in essence, when you're talking about development, you are talking about all-round improvement in all the three aspects I have mentioned. So, in Nigeria, welfare policies shape human capital, reduce poverty, promote inclusive growth. What welfare policy can you just tell me? Do you think of? Can anybody assist? Just give me an example of any welfare policy you are aware of. Welfare policy. Just tell me anyone, any welfare policy or social welfare policy you have come across or you have heard about, maybe in the news, in the newspapers, online, or wherever.
I think
Yes.
one is the school feeding program.
School feeding program, right, Celestine, right?
We also have nail phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have what?
Nail phone.
Chika?
Nail phone. Nail phone.
NEFON. What is NEFON? Can you please?
They assist in paying school fees for students.
Okay, this loan,
Just
yes,
for
it's a
students.
social welfare. Yes, it's welfare policy for students. Good. What other one? Can you give me more examples? More examples.
Children health insurance program.
Children health insurance program. Yes. Yes, that is about health. It's health policy. Yes.
Sir.
Even the national health insurance scheme is also part of it. Yes. I want to hear more. No one has talked about Renew Hope agenda that Mr. President is floating all around. The wife of Mr. President is also promoting the Renew Hope agenda that has so many welfare programs under it as components, like social protection, conditional cash transfer, support to the needy, support to the disabled, and so on and so forth. And we have many social policy even at the state level. Such social policy at the national level includes national social protection policy. It's a national policy, a comprehensive one. It's a policy that is a comprehensive policy in Nigeria, umbrella policy in Nigeria that addresses the needs, the social needs of the citizens of this country. And it's being reviewed every 5 years. One was formulated in 2017, and another one in 2022 or 2023 was also formulated. But those are in documents, those are in books, those are in words. They are not actions yet. It is when they are implemented properly, then people can feel the impact. So we also have national gender policy. What about educational policy, different educational policies that we have? All these address our social needs. All these address our social problems. When policies are formulated, they are formulated based on problems that we must have had as a society. As a human being, as a country, we must have had some problem. That is when policies are implemented. I want to believe you understand me to that extent. So all these policies, there are so many that you can mention, even in your state. Of course, we have Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Children Affairs, Ministry of Youth Development, Ministry of Social Welfare, and so on and so forth, just like we have at the federal level. In some states, they even have Ministry of Disaster Management, and so on and so forth. All these are socially related. And the essence is to ensure that every individual, everybody in the country, every citizen, every individual living on this planet Earth actually enjoys a good life. That every individual have, to ensure that every individual will have a good quality of life. So these are policies that are designed to ensure that everybody is at peace and that no one is left behind. When no one is left behind, we are talking about inclusion. When no one is left behind, we are talking about no gender disparity. Whether you are a male or female, there shouldn't be any disparity, there shouldn't be any discrimination. There are policies on that as well. So that is the essence of social welfare. And when a social welfare programs are well designed and well implemented, this will bring development. Historical context of social welfare in Nigeria. During the pre-colonial era, you can just flash your mind back. Although many of you are still in university, many may be young, your age may be young, but you will have read, if you are the type that read, you will have read the history of Nigeria. If you don't even understand any other thing, you must have understood how Nigeria evolved. From 1914, the amalgamation of Northern and Southern protectorates, what happened then? The British were the one ruling us. They are overseeing our affairs. By 1960, they left our country and we got our independence. Before the independence, even before the colonial era, even when the colonial masters were here, before they even came to the soil of Nigeria, how did we live? What were our programs? Of course, there were people before the European came to Nigeria. And these people lived, they lived comfortably well. How did they live? Traditionally. So we have our own traditional systems of taking care of ourselves, even before these people came. Of course, it was when they came that they tried to take our tradition away from us. To show to us, they are trying to let us know, they didn't even show to us, they didn't even prove to us that our traditions were bad. They deliberately, they ensure that they remove our tradition from us, or they force us to neglect our tradition. And today, many of us, we have imbibed the European ways of life. That is why you see ladies removing their natural hair and putting artificial hair on their head. Why must we do that? Did our forefathers, did they do that? That is why you see some girls and boys too tinting their hair. They will not even allow themselves to grow old when they can have gray hairs. Why are we still copying them? Who climb and sinker? You can see, it's because they took away our traditional, or they made us to neglect our traditional way of life, which was peaceful, which was also sustainable, because there were no chaos, there were no crises then. But even when we have social problems, there were traditional systems of taking care of any problem that we have. Of course, you will remember the extended family system that we practice in Africa setting, especially in Nigeria. But today, have we not replaced it with nuclear family system? And has it given us any, that nuclear family system that we practice today, can you weigh the benefits? Benefit with that of the extended family. Today you are on your own. Even if you are related, you don't want your nephew, you don't want your nephew, you don't want your cousin, you don't want your niece to come and live with you. You don't want to live in the family compound. You don't want to bring in all your family members. When you are better off, you prefer to separate yourself from your roots. You will not even go home. Of course, this Japan syndrome, people are abroad. They never think, they never dream of coming back to Nigeria, except they are forced to come. You can see that kind of a mentality that we embrace and we continue to live with it. But then when we have our own traditional way of settling any problem or solving any problem, any social problem confronting us, we did that through extended family, communalism. We see ourselves as one. I remember in those days, our forefathers, they gathered themselves together in the community, and they will gather themselves together in the community to do community work. Then they will construct roads, they will clear fences, they will build bridges, and so on and so forth, connecting villages, connecting one community to the other. They build worship centers, they will build market centers, they will build community halls. Because of what? Because of the communalism in them. This communal system of doing things brought togetherness, brought brotherhood, brought love, unity, and participation. And that one also ensured that everybody in the community will participate in any community work through the community efforts. And all the projects, all the program, they use that method to achieve. They were sustainable. Up to today, you can still see you can see the examples of what they did then through communal efforts. How many communal efforts do we engage ourselves in nowadays? Can we do that when we live in estates, in different estates, bought homes? When we separate ourselves from the rules, when we separate ourselves from the main spectrum of the community or of the society, then there used to be age grades. If you belong to a particular age grade, they are the one that will address your need. If you have any social need, if you require any social assistance, your age group will provide that support for you. That is how it used to be before the coming of colonial masters. When they took all these beautiful ideas, beautiful efforts, beautiful innovation, they took it away from us. There's no way you can be in a community that you will not improve in your social interaction, because you attend community meeting. If you are a child in a community, if you are a child in a family, you are a child of that community. In those days, community they will gather themselves together and they will contribute and send only one person from that community to school, regardless of whether they are the biological father or they are the biological parent. Regardless of that, the community will contribute. Every member of the community will contribute because they want somebody that will be educated in their community, and they contribute all together, men and women, and they will send that person to school. And upon graduation, that person will want to serve that community, and he will serve the community consistently. He will serve the community with so much commitment because of what the community has given to him. But today, do we see that again? We don't see that again. Individualistic life, capitalist living, and so on and so forth. In those days, it used to be we. This particular project belonged to us, but this day it is my project. In those days, they will construct drainages. They will also clear roads. They will also try and expand their water source and so on and so forth, so that every member of the community will have access to that water. Even if that water is a stream water, they will ensure that that water is protected. All the community talk about security. All of them will come together and provide security. All these are the way we used to do in those days. Then what about the cooperative labor? In Yoruba land, there's this, we talk about offer and aro. What is offer? If this happens between the creditor and debtor, if you are a debtor to someone, for you to pay that debt to the creditor, you will give the creditor maybe some able-bodied men from your own end, maybe depending on the condition of the creditor. You give those men, able-bodied men, to go and work in the farm of the creditor until the wages or until what they will until they do the work that is equivalent to the debt owed by the debtor. So when they do that work, I mean, measuring their assessing their labor efforts, they will equate it to the amount being owed by the debtor. And when that is is equal, when that particular effort can be equated to the amount of money, or when it was equivalent to the amount of money owed, then they will release those able-bodied men to come back, and we call it offer. But the arrow is exchange. You exchange labor. In the arrow is cooperative labor. You exchange labor. If between two people, if you have farms, and you know that your capacity to actually take care of that farm was limited, what you do is you talk to your friend or you talk to your neighbor. Your neighbor will join you in that effort. Together, you go and work in the farm, in the first person's farm. After you complete that, the two of you will also go back to the second person's farm, and that is cooperative labor. You exchange labor, and so that you can actually reach, or you can actually achieve the objective of that effort of farming. You will see that with that, their economic power will be improved. Nobody will be hungry. Then that used to be the effort being put in place by our great forefather, by our people before the coming of the colonial masters. That is pre-colonial era. That is how welfare, social welfare used to be in Nigeria and in the Africa context. You can think about it even within your own community. If you are young, you can ask the elders in your community, how are they able to do it? How are they able to care for the needy during those times? Then during the colonial era too, when we have introduction of Western style welfare through missionaries, you know, when the colonial master came here, they just came here to deceive us. They said they are giving us education, whereas they are introducing religion to us. That is when the Christianity was brought into the soul of the country. So they were using education as a weapon to evangelize Nigerians. And that is when the missionary came. That is when they came. They are coming to the soul of the country, now introduce Western education with their administration. That is when the colonial master established schools to address education. They established health centers and so many other things, just for us Nigerians to have access to those facilities, so that our life can be improved upon. Then we have the post-independence era as well, when we have state-led welfare expansion. In this, after the independence, education began to expand, as well as health, housing, and so many other things that are related to social welfare. In the contemporary era, former social welfare institutions, that is when we have the Ministry of Social Welfare. In those days, there wasn't such ministry. There were principally traditional ministries like health, agric, finance. Those are works. Those are the major ministries, and education. But these days that we now have Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Youth Affairs, Ministry of children affairs, and so on and so forth. So this formalized social welfare institutions are established either by government, by private individual, NGOs, community-based, as a result of community-based initiative responding to poverty. There are so many interventions, there are so many projects that are currently going on in the country that are addressing various facets of social development. So these programs address poverty, inequality, and social exclusion, and so on and so forth. So you can read more on this for you to understand the historical context of social welfare in Nigeria. I'm just giving you a brief background of that. So with my explanation, you should understand where we are coming from so that we can know where we are going and we know our destination. So what are the major areas of social welfare in Nigeria? I've mentioned it in passing when we talk about education. Today we are talking about universal basic education. That is your education from primary 1 to JSS 3. The basic education that every Nigerian is expected to have. So the government designed that all in a bid to ensure that we all have quality education. That is why there is a policy on universal basic education. Please find that out. But we have had different policies in the country. We have had different policies in the country. Different policies in the country up to the present moment. Please go and find out how those policies change. Before, it used to be 5-3-3-4 system of education. Later, it's turned to be, in the beginning, it used to be 6-5-3 system. Later, it changed to 6-5-4 system. Then we have now 6-3-3-4 system of education. There are policies that change all this, that brought all these changes. So go and look at those policies and see why that change. Why did we move from one phase to another phase? The current system of education, what led us to it as we practice today in Nigeria? Please go and find out that. And we have a number of challenges in implementing this policy. Remember I said when we started that it's one thing to develop a policy, it's one thing to formulate a policy, it's another thing to implement it to the letter. So our policy on social welfare have suffered seriously in this country. There are challenges of poor funding, high dropout rate in school, strikes. Of course, those of you in the university, you must have heard that ASU is threatening to embark on strike very soon if the federal government refuses to meet their demands. So in education, you can talk, you can actually list many challenges facing education: underfunding, poor remuneration for the lecturers, infrastructures, lack of good infrastructure, student populations has exploded, and there's no facility to accommodate them are not there. You can just think about all these challenges facing education. The health, of course, somebody mentioned National Health Insurance Scheme the other time, or Children Health Insurance Scheme, the Pensioner Health Insurance Scheme, or Senior Citizen Health Insurance Scheme, and so many, and so on and so forth. That also insurance schemes at subnational level, at the state level, I mean. So all these schemes are meant to provide access for citizens to get a quality health service. We have Primary Healthcare Development Board, National Primary Healthcare Development Commission, National Health Care Development Board, Primary Healthcare Development Board, and so on and so forth. There are so many boards, all in a bid to do or to provide us with health services. And there are challenges: brain drain, poor infrastructure, maternal mortality, limited coverage, poorly implemented policies, and so on and so forth, corruption, and so on and so forth. There are so many problems, there are so many challenges facing Nigeria social welfare sector. Then we can also talk about this social welfare program on poverty reduction and social protection. I mentioned it the other time. National social investment programs, Empower, which actually address or is addressing or then address youth employment. National social investment programs, conditional cash transfer. I mentioned the other time, they give stipend to desire to those that desire to be given assistance, to those they feel will need support to live every month. There is a specified amount, perhaps I think 5,000 or 10,000 every month that is being given to the beneficiary. The Renew Hope Agenda decided to give 25,000 naira for 3 months, 25,000 naira per month for 3 months for the beneficiary, and they did this for 3 consecutively for 3 months. So when you add them together, that will be 75,000 for an individual to enable him or her live a better life. But to what extent can 75,000 take such a person when he stay alive? Can that 75,000 take such a person out of poverty? These are questions that we need to ask with regards to implementation. What about the implementation strategy? How do they get their beneficiary list? Who are the beneficiaries? Are they political athletes? Are they members of one political party or the other? So these are questions that deserve answers from the implementers or from the policymakers. Of course, we heard about trader money during Buhari's time and market money, microcredits. So that is to improve the economic power of the beneficiaries, of the citizens, those that are actually captured with this. Then people criticize this and critique what the government is doing about all these programs on social protection and poverty reduction. Because just like I mentioned, who are the beneficiaries? Are they political associates or political members? Are they members of a particular political party? So in this case, we talk about political interference for sustainability. Can this program be sustained? When Buhari was there as the head of state or as the president of the country, we had trader money, market money. Do we still have the market money and trader money now? The conditional cash transfer is still ongoing. If it is ongoing, can we sustain it beyond this administration? So these are questions, these are areas that we need to look at to ensure that our country is put on the path of sustainability. Child and family welfare too is an aspect of social welfare, and this is empowered, or this is given legal backing by Child Rights Act of 2003 at the national level. In various states, we have child rights laws. What are the issues on this? Under the Child Rights Act, this talks about child labor, street children, orphans from insurgency. What the orphans that are in the orphans that are in the IDP camp, internally displaced persons camp, children that are there, they are special children. This law, this particular act, protects their rights and gives them legal protection, as well as other children in the society, like street children, those children that have been engaged in child labor, and so on and so forth, that have been trafficked. Then, gender and women's welfare. Of course, it is a common saying that when you educate a woman, you are educating a nation. But when you educate a man, you are only educating an individual. So when a woman is well empowered educationally, it means that the future of that particular society or community is guaranteed. So we have national gender policy which addresses the issue of gender, especially promoting women empowerment. We are talking about gender equality. That is when that is in relation to what I said earlier about gender equity or gender equality. This talks about removing inequalities in our society, different forms of inequality, inequality within and inequality without. Inequality, even among the women, there are inequalities. Some are educated, some are not educated. Some live in the rural areas, some live in the urban areas. Some could attend university, many could not even attend university. Some could access health care, while others could not access health care, perhaps as a result of poverty or as a result of low education. Some know their rights, some don't even know their rights. Some women are given opportunity to serve in political position, some are not given opportunity to serve. Women are excluded from holding some positions in the society, while men are actually included. These are inequalities that we see, that we experience. How do we tackle them? Any policy that can address this will say that that policy is providing the right direction for the improvement of gender, especially women in our society. So that was the thinking when gender policy was formulated in 2006. And we also talk about C-ISOWN. Does anybody know what C-ISOWN is? Have you ever heard about C-ISOWN? CEDAW. Has anybody heard about that? Anyone?
No, sir.
No. C-ISOWN is Convention on Elimination. Thank you. C-ISOWN is Convention on Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. Convention on Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. That convention was in the 90s, and all these convention and some other instruments, they brought them together, they synthesized all of this to come about what we now have as the act that we have now to protect all forms of discrimination against any human being, not only women now. We have what we call VAP Act, VAPP. That is Violence Against Person Prohibition Act. That was promulgated in 2015 or thereabouts. So when that act was actually promulgated by the federal government, is to protect every individual. All the states, many states have also domesticated this in their different states, just to protect violence against persons. You know, there are laws that actually talk about, that actually prohibit violence against women before. But this one now is comprehensive, is violence against persons. If you are a human being, there shouldn't be violence against you. Gender-based violence too, you know, gender-based violence is everywhere, it's rampant in our society, and we experience this day in, day out. So, but there are challenges about this program on gender and women's welfare. Gender-based violence continue to persist. Female genital mutilation also persists, as well as economic exclusion. In some society, in some culture in Nigeria, of course, many African settings, a woman is not autonomous. A married woman is not autonomous. How do I mean? If you are a woman, the man is the head of the household. You can't take any decision on your own except it's approved by the man of the house. So if a woman is to attend antenatal care, she cannot just decide to say, I want to go to this hospital, I want to go to that center, I want to go this way, I want to go that way, except she gets approval from her husband. If the husband says, no, you are not going there, you are not going to A, you are going to B, that is where the woman will go. So we have these cultural norms that still persist in our society. And it's actually promoting inequality. The right that a man has, a woman also has that right, even more than that of the man. But the reverse is the case. There are states where a woman will be forced to do a test even before marriage. I think I learned from Anambra. It's compulsory that you do your genotype test before marriage, and it's a form of coercion. So these are challenges that still persist in our society that is actually bedeviling gender and women welfare promotion in this country. Then the elderly and persons with disabilities. The elderly and persons with disabilities. These are the sixth group that we talk about in our social welfare program. Of course, those people that are senior citizens, those that have retired, those that are old, perhaps from 65, 75, and so on and so forth. Then, Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Act is an effort by the federal government to ensure that the people with disability are also protected. Senior citizens are also protected. The pension scheme that are actually being implemented by government too, these are efforts to ensure that welfare packages are provided for these senior citizens. So some states also establish Ministry of Special Needs, or a bureau or agency that takes care of people living with disabilities, and so on and so forth. Some states have also done that. That is to ensure that these people with special abilities are taken care of properly, just like a normal human being. So I think at this point, we may have to pause for the class, so that next time we have some other things to discuss, and before we can also interact more on how your exams will come. So let me give you the opportunity to make comments, to ask questions, to also make your contributions. Thank you so much. Yes, question, comments? Yes, who are those that have just joined the class? Adaize, you didn't start with us. Faith Oton, you didn't start with us. Gina, you didn't start with us. Peter Okenya, I'm not sure you started with us. Rhoda, you didn't.
So I
You didn't.
started.
Who?
So I started doing the introduction. No.
Okay,
I
who is
came in.
who is
And
speaking?
I
Who is
was the
speaking?
one that you asked to rename my name.
Oh, what's the name again?
Adeze.
Okay. Because you joined with
Sir, please
your
switch off the
device.
Peter because I came early.
Okay, how many Peter do we have? Okay.
You
Anyway,
have
if
two.
you are here, beautiful. Rhoda, I know Rhoda didn't start with us. I didn't hear any Rhoda. Rhoda, can we hear from you? What have you been able to get from all I've been saying for the past 1 hour? Rhoda has run away. Oh. Okay, Victoria, Victoria, if you are there, can you say a word? Okay. Victoria also refused to talk. iPhone, the person using iPhone, you need to rename your device. I'm just saying it's phone. I'm just saying it now. iPhone, what's the name? Can you unmute and speak? If you are the one using iPhone, please speak and tell us your name. No, speak up or we can't hear you. Can anybody hear?
Good evening, sir. My name is Jennifer.
Okay. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
I'm from the University of Allied Health Science, Social Work Department.
Enugu, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why did you come late to the class? So what have you been able to get? Sorry, what have you been able to get in the class, in what we discussed? Just tell us in one sentence.
When you talked about their policies guiding universal basic education.
Okay.
And some other policies.
All right. It's okay. All right. Any questions, any comments? Faith. Okay. Faith, you are the one that actually rename your device? No, it's not Faith. Faith, can you say a word? Faith, if you are there. Faith refused to unmute you. No one. Okay. Okay, Faith is not there. Or it's just put on the device without following us. Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
My network is fluctuating, that's why.
All right, no problem.
My name is Faith Roland from the University of Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you Faith or Faithful?
Faith, just Faith.
Just Faith. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for University of Social Work Department, right? You know Professor Daniel Ranta?
Yes, sir.
All right.
He was our former HOD, sir.
Oh, great. That's fine. Okay. If there are no questions, or if there is no comment as well, I think at this point in time we can call it a day, and we'll meet next Saturday between 12 and 2. If it will change, I will let you know. If that time it will change, I will let you know. Otherwise, we will continue the class. So, but before then, read more about social development, and let me just give you a focus of where to read about challenges of social welfare and development in Nigeria. I've mentioned some to you during the course of this lecture. So read about them, some of the problems, and how many are we in the class? We are about 27. 27. So I will expect, we are 20, you are 26, including me, makes 27. I will expect every person in the class to tell me one challenge, or at least one challenge. If you can be able to tell me 2 challenges or 3 or 4 that we face with regard to social welfare and development in Nigeria or in Africa as a continent, I will be glad. So everyone is expected to do that, which means you go and read about challenges of social welfare and development in Nigeria. So, and we're going to discuss that when next we meet. So I will expect everybody to speak in the class, please. If you don't have the habit of speaking, please go and learn that before the next class. I want to make it interactive and we discuss. So you tell me a challenge and you explain. Tell me a challenge and you explain. We have so many challenges that are facing us as a nation in area of social welfare and development in this country. So I will want you to go and do that as an assignment, and you're going to take the floor. We're going to start from there when next we have the opportunity of meeting. So I want to thank you most sincerely for your time and for bearing with me up to this point. So until Saturday or until next class, remain blessed. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.